Hello my friends. Believe it or not, Half-Life Alyx came out 6 years ago. It's been a long time since I played this, and visiting this fresh after a long break was really nice. And now I want to present to you my list of personal favorite map expansion mods. There is so much to cover in here, and if you haven't played this in a long time like me, then I invite you to revisit this game again with all of this new content. Let's go! Cityscape. If you haven't heard of this map yet, then you're in for a real treat. It feels like a lore-friendly expansion that Valve would produce. It takes place in City 17, in between Half-Life Alyx and Half-Life 2. You are a citizen who is captured by the Combine and need to escape from prison. This map feels like an official DLC in the exceptional level design, but also the bits of story and lore that surround the whole experience. You'll also find moments that pay tribute to Half-Life 2, and reliving those moments in this game feels really special. Playtime is about an hour, and you owe it to yourself to download and enjoy this. The next map is also a very strong contender, because while Cityscape features professional storytelling, the Underground features a pulse-pounding action ride. It starts out somewhat slow, but before long, you'll be neck-deep in some of the most difficult, while yet rewarding, combat I've ever seen in an Alyx map. The challenge comes from armored enemies that originally came from the Campaign Plus Overhaul mod that I've featured before, along with tricky to maneuver tight fighting areas. The Underground has a custom soundtrack, filled with exciting music to drive the Combine fights, as well as very creepy tracks to make the dark areas truly spooky. I died a ton in this map, and I loved every minute of it. Playtime for me was about an hour. Goldeneye 64 Facility. It's a recreation of the classic facility level from Goldeneye on the N64. I had a ton of fun playing this map. I got lots of nostalgia from the original soundtrack and familiar level layout. But it also feels fresh, with some creative design decisions that the mod author made. I did occasionally get some performance issues, but they weren't too bad. I got about an hour of playtime out of this, and if you played the original, then you simply must play this. In Antlion Arena, you play as a Combine soldier fighting side by side with your fellow comrades, and all of you are defending an outpost surrounded by 3 Antlion nests. Defend the outpost no matter what it takes. The starting area of the map gives you all the resin and ammo you could ever ask for, so upgrading your guns and getting ready will be no problem. Once you approach the perimeter of the outpost, the Antlion attack will begin. I think the coolest part of this map is a working Strider, and the fact that you're on the same side makes it even more awesome. Defend the outpost as long as you can, but you might eventually get overwhelmed. Personally, I survived for about 20 minutes. In Seige is a miniature campaign spread across 3 levels. And if I had to choose only one word to describe it, it would be relentless. At the beginning, you're instantly bombarded by manhacks, and with few exceptions, the combat doesn't let up until the very end. But thankfully, this campaign is very generous with ammo and upgrades. I finally had enough shotgun ammo to justify buying the autoloader. But it's not just about intense combat. The level design and direction is also quite inspired, and will send you through lots of different environments. Sometimes the direction to go is obvious, and sometimes it's more like a door gateway puzzle with multiple paths to choose from. I highly recommend it. I beat it in about an hour. Maps that make you fumble in the dark with low visibility are probably the most difficult to design and make enjoyable, because it's a tricky balance to make the low visibility a challenge without becoming frustrated or totally lost. Because of that, I usually don't enjoy these kinds of maps, but Blackout is an exception that's head and shoulders above the rest. I had a lot of fun playing this, and it challenged me in multiple ways with massive light path puzzles and difficult combat with limited ammo to find. There is no flashlight in here. Your only hope of seeing is with the environmental light sources or following light path puzzles. And when you first play, you might think that the entire map is a puzzle because of how it starts out, but halfway through, the gameplay creatively changes and there will be a lot of surprises in store. The bottom line is that this is my all-time favorite map in the dark. I got almost an hour of play out of it, and you've just gotta try it. In Quick Stop, Alyx is forced to abandon her stolen car to travel on foot to hopefully bypass a monolithic Combine security checkpoint. And if she's lucky, Russell will arrange transportation on the other side. And speaking of Russell, the map author did a great job of repurposing voice lines from the main campaign to fit the situations in this map.
Whew. It is dark. Big fan of this flashlight.
The well-placed voice acting is a nice polishing touch. This miniature campaign has some of the most fresh level designs that I've seen. The level is constantly changing, and you never know what's around the corner. As such, there's a surprising amount of variety in the environments. You'll have to traverse spooky underground hallways, city streets, rooftop battles, and more. I had a great time playing this, and I think it's a must download. You can beat it in about 30 minutes.
Alright, we're getting close to the substation here.
Well, we've got to get you out of here and up to the roof.
Field studies. You have a mission to destroy a Combine power relay. Aided by your friend Russell, you make your way towards the old historic quarter of the city. In doing so, you'll face off against Combine and headcrabs inside an old museum. Simply put, this map is incredibly impressive. The design of the building makes it feel like a legit museum. The room flow is designed like a museum would be, which totally immersed me in the feeling of being in a real location in City 17. Besides the design, you'll encounter unique puzzle challenges that you haven't seen before, as well as very difficult Combine fights. I died so much in here, but kept pressing on because it's such a cool map. The ending of the map contains the biggest surprise of all, which I won't spoil here. You really need to play this. Playtime is about an hour. In Hull, you're a passenger on board a massive seafaring vessel when the Combine decide to ruin your trip with an early morning raid. This map has a very cinematic feel with intentional areas of quiet in between tiny puzzles and moments of action. And the desaturated color palette adds to the cinematic feel as well. This is a great experience within a fresh new environment. Playtime is about 30 minutes. Vertical. Alyx is on a mission to shut down a Combine power substation in a formerly under construction urban high-rise. This mission has the usual fare with the occasional Combine fights and item hunting, but the design of this map is so cool and open. Exploring the sky-high construction zone is a refreshing new place to play in, and a welcome change from the usual claustrophobic interiors. Getting a new view of City 17 is pretty rad. This map is refreshing and a lot of fun. Playtime is about an hour. Your codename is Detonator. Your mission is to repair a bomb the rebels planted in a vital Combine base and detonate it. Ensure the task is finished before dawn. This is perhaps a one-way trip. When I first started playing the Detonator, I honestly thought it would be a quick keycard door puzzle to get to the goal, and boy was I wrong. This is a miniature campaign of epic proportions. You'll be traversing a variety of ever-changing environments as you make your way to the bomb, and I greatly enjoyed how the environments continued to evolve. I felt like I was truly getting farther and farther into Combine territory deep within City 17. The pacing from action sequences to quiet espionage kept me on my toes and made the level progression feel very dynamic. I really loved how the level flow kept changing the pace of things. This mini-campaign has it all: intense firefights, nasty scary jump scares, cramped dark areas, expansive open city landscapes, new custom puzzles, and more. I got almost 3 hours of gameplay out of it, and you really need to play this one. The Dead Drop. At the very start, inside the apartment, I could instantly see the attention to detail that was presented here. And throughout every area I explored in this journey, the quality continued. All of the spaces are designed in a very atmospheric way that feels rich. The combat is intense and rewarding. I beat it in about an hour.
Alert! Ground unit. Invasive operation of anti-citizen origin.
From here to there. You are Dr. Smithers from Half-Life 1. After the Black Mesa incident, you live undercover as a custodian with a secret laboratory underground. You were once friends with Gordon Freeman, but you now blame him for what has happened and want nothing to do with him. Now your only desire is to find refuge in the Fiji Islands. But all of this might not go according to plan. This massive story campaign took me 7 hours to beat, and I was taken aback at how constantly I was discovering brand new creativity within the journey. At the beginning area in the laboratory, I spent so much time just tinkering with experiments and playing with new contraptions. From here to there is incredibly rich with new content. If you like difficult resin searches, then you'll definitely have a good time in here. The resin is extremely well hidden. If you're able to collect 80 resin, then you'll discover a bonus scene, but I wasn't able to do that myself. This campaign requires physical climbing in some areas, so keep that in mind if you're used to teleport climbing like I am. One downside to all the unique new game mechanics is that sometimes it's unclear what needs to be done to proceed, so some experimentation and creativity will be required on your part. If you think you've seen it all with Half-Life Alyx, then this is simply a must-play. From Here to There features both quantity and quality.
Russell, are you seeing this?
Levitation picks up the story immediately after the original campaign, and the storytelling feels legit. The transition from the original ending to this beginning is expertly stitched together. But with all the polish they've added to this, the real chef's kiss are the new voice-driven animations applied to the original characters. I've never seen anything like this before in an Alyx mod, with the original characters having new cutscenes with lip-sync animations and not just a voiceover.
Wow, she has, quite a bit of recoil. I'm going to stick to coding. You better take this.
The level design is great, with beautiful exteriors that make the city feel alive. Some of the combat is cranked up a notch, like this intense subway fight where you're surrounded by suppressors on all sides. Thinking of Levitation as Vanilla Plus is a good way to summarize the gameplay, because with few exceptions, there really isn't any new gameplay mechanics in here. It's the original game extended and remixed. Which isn't a bad thing, it's just a contrast compared to the previous mod I mentioned. I completed it in about 4.5 hours, and if you recently finished the main campaign, then this is a perfect choice to play next. In re-education, Alyx must make her way through a long-abandoned school to continue her journey to a safe house on the outskirts of City 17. The centerpiece is a unique Jeff encounter that puts a new spin on the monster. I usually find Jeff encounters tiring, but this map made that dynamic much more interesting to me. Enjoy the original environments in this creatively designed school building while taking in the unique voice acting. I think the voice actress for Alyx did a fantastic job.
I don't even know why I'm bothering to collect all this resin. It's not like I have a use for it at the moment.
Are you joking? That stuff is more valuable than gold. Or anything else for that matter.
Not if you don't have a gun.
I got about 45 minutes of playtime out of this one. In the Undertow, Alyx is tasked with delivering a mysterious briefcase to the owner of an underground nightclub. Upon arriving, you realize this deal might not be so straightforward. This cool mini-adventure features talented custom voices and an engaging story. The nightclub music really enhances the action in here, and I had a lot of fun.
DJs are gonna have a field day with this.
There's also some surprising spooky twists that you won't expect. You'll get almost an hour of playtime from this one. In Cornered, Alyx attempts to lie low in an unassuming apartment with the Combine on high alert and hunting her down. Unfortunately, they've discovered her location and are breaching the building. I found this extremely challenging. They throw everything at you while storming the building, which feels realistic to me because they absolutely would be merciless if they found her location. So the escape from the building feels legit and exciting. When you first awaken the apartment, be sure to search for any and all goodies that you can find. You're gonna need them. And also appreciate some of the custom interactables in here too. Playtime is about an hour. Gunman Contracts is a 2-part mission series where you are a silent gun for hire tasked with saving some innocents from some ruthless bad guys. This is a very different kind of mod where you have no gravity gloves or special weapons. It's simply a trusty pistol and your wits against a bunch of very bad dudes. There's also no saving allowed, so you'll need to be extra cautious while on the hunt. The usual gameplay has been changed so that enemies can be taken down with 1 headshot or 2 body hits, but the amount of damage the player can take has also been reduced. Depending on the difficulty level you choose, this could take you an hour or a full day, since there's no saving allowed in either of the missions. Half-Life Zheptics. Zheptics provides a lot of surprises. It's a steady stream of new gameplay mechanics, new kinds of puzzles, new enemies, and much more. The surprises just keep on coming, and the final act of the story was simply exhilarating. For a free new campaign, I can't recommend it highly enough. The mod author spent over 2 years making this, and it really shows. The stated length is 5 hours, but I feel like it took me much longer than that. Playing this casually kept me busy for days. Museum Rampage Arena is a vicious combat arena inspired by the lobby scene from the Matrix movie. As far as I can tell, there isn't any story about who you are or why you're here, but given the condition of your hands, it looks like you're a really bad dude who's ready to rumble. Waves and waves of SWAT teams give the subtle impression you're not welcome here. The entire environment is destructible, which definitely ramps up the fun factor and the feeling of chaos. If you enjoyed the Gunman Contracts series of mods for Alyx, then I think you'll really like this too.